How do we change hatred into love? Social discrimination and ostracization into acceptance. You do it through love. You do it through kindness. And that is what a group of transgender women have been doing. I wanted to show you what we have been doing for the past 6 months. A group of transgender women from different parts of India, we get together and we are painting the hearts of people with love. We do something called walls of kindness. We go to different places, particularly the rural and tribal places in India, where there are Anganwadi schools and primary schools that have been not taken care of, that look very dull and not at all beautiful, where children don't want to come and study. We adopt these schools, a group of transgender women from underprivileged backgrounds. We adopt these schools, we go there as a group, and we paint these dull-looking schools into beautiful works of art. That is what we have been doing. In the society, the perceptions about transgender people is that they are beggars, sex workers, etc., etc., misfits of the society. But we have been changing that, not through speaking, but through doing an action of change. We started with going to a school in TV-Puram, which is near Kumarakom in Kerala. We saw a government school which was poorly looking. The children were not really happy with their school environment. So we got together as a group of trans women. We got together. We requested our friends to get us paint. We put our own money and then some money from our friends. We bought paint and then we went to these schools and we started painting these schools. One after the other, one after the other. And again, next month, we got another opportunity to go to a very tribal area in Gudalur, in Nilgiris. And we painted 2 schools. The beauty about going to these schools is that our Indian education system does not have the knowledge about gender equality, about gender diversity. None of us here in this room, we have studied about gender diversity or gender equality, gender justice in our schools. Probably not in our college too. And even today, it is the same in the schools. So when we as a group, we travel and go to these small, little, unknown schools, unknown areas, and we interact with the children, we interact with the local people, simple, rural and tribal people, and we make a change in their environment by painting the schools. What happens is, children love their school and they start to come back to school. So in a way, we have been reducing the dropouts from the school. Not by educating and telling them, but by actually doing a small service of beautifying their schools and making a difference. So we have been traveling like hundreds of kilometers and then through forest, and then we travel to these tribal areas, we paint these schools, So many magic things happen when we do it. The number one thing that happens is that children shower so much of love for us. They just don't judge us by our looks, our gender, our voice. They don't. Secondly, the local people, the tribal people. They look at us, they look at our work, and then they offer everything that they can. The place to stay, the food, the refreshments, everything comes from these simple people. The myth about transgender people, that we are social misfits, that we are not eligible and we are lazy people, and all these misconceptions are all broken. On the one side, we have been changing these schools one by one, every month. This change is a small change, but the impact of it will touch many people's lives, especially the children's lives for years. Why? Because when these children grew up, when they find a gender non-conforming person or a child, they wouldn't discriminate. We all discriminate transgender people. We all discriminate gender non-conforming people. We have names for them, and we know how to hurt a person very easily. If we are changing our country for the good, if we are changing our society for the good, let's change it through our children. We need to teach our children about gender diversity, gender equality, that it's okay to be a transgender, it's okay to be a disabled, it's okay to be brown or black or short or fat. It's okay to be a Dalit. And that is how we actually create a society that is non-violent, that is full of kindness and commitment to self-growth, personal development, and the growth of our nation. So this change that we are doing is done by a group of transgender women who are begging or doing sex work for their livelihood. This assignment of painting schools, that too underprivileged, unknown schools in tribal and rural areas, this also provides an employment for them twice a month, which they are able to meet their basic needs. So this is Kanchana and that is Sandhya. They both live in Chennai. One is a stage dancer, the other one is unemployed. Both of them are very dedicated, very committed painters. So every time we give an assignment and we go together to a place, they are so happy. Why? Because they get an opportunity to change an environment for better. They have an opportunity to change something ugly into beautiful. They have an opportunity to change hatred into love. They have an opportunity to change misunderstanding into kindness and acceptance. So this is one of the schools that we painted. It is in Gudalur. It is in a small village called Kodasanapulli, which is very, very interior from the Gudalur main town. We traveled almost 10 kilometers inside the forest, and we saw a few elephants as well. And we were very inspired by a teacher. Her name is Pratibha, who was living in another area but has been traveling every day 6 kilometers inside the forest just to teach these 25 tribal kids. These are people, unsung heroes. These are unsung heroes and heroines who have been living with our society, who are making a change, a small step towards a journey which will be an unparalleled journey that will make a huge change. So every step of what we do matters. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be huge. We don't need huge money to make a change. All we need is a beautiful heart, a heart that can take action. So these gentlemen are a group of people who we met in the tribal village. These are amazing people. They actually don't speak Tamil, and even if they speak, they have very little knowledge of our language. They have their own language to speak. They don't come to the town at all. They have everything there with the nature along with them. If they are sick, they have medicine there. Their food is there. Everything is there. So we change that into this, and we make children happy. So this is another school that we went. It is in near Barkur. Every time we go to a place, it's an adventure. It's a rich experience in itself. Meeting the children, meeting the local tribes, learning from them, and learning at our own privileges, like how we are ignoring our privileges and how they are working so hard to get that one privilege that we have in multiples. So these children we met, they don't know that these children, little ones, they don't know that we are transgenders, and they don't know who is a transgender woman as well. For them, what matters was love. For them, what mattered was change, beauty, that the kindness we provided them. And I wish all of us remain with the heart of a child to just accept love, kindness, and positive changes. These children, when they grew up, 20 or 30 years even after, they might remember us, that there were these 4 akkas who came to our little village and they painted our school white with flowers and everything. They will remember us. And someday, if they come to a place, one of these places, and if they come across a transgender person, they will never discriminate or they will never throw hatred at them. These are simple things that we are doing, but these have been creating effective changes in the society. With the transgender women, the artists that we go and paint these schools, there is a huge personal change that happens for us too. Many of our community people, they don't have self-confidence. Their self-value is so low. Usually because from childhood they have been abandoned by their parents, they are on the streets begging, doing sex work, and misunderstood by the society, bullied by most of the people every day wherever they go, by ignorant people. So they deal with a large number of people who really don't accept them, and they fight constantly every day. So when such an opportunity is given to change something in the society, an opportunity to change not yourself, but something in the society that looks down upon you, that throws stones against you, that throws hatred against you, make a change in the society through your kindness. Paint their hearts with love. When this thing happens, when they go to these schools and they paint these schools and make it beautiful, and when the local tribe, they come, the local young people, they come, the children, they come, and they show love, kindness, and respect, and appreciation for changing beauty into ugly, changing their schools into beautiful. The enormous amount of self-respect, the enormous amount of self-confidence that these transgender women get is monumental. It makes a huge change within their personality, that each one of them is worth something and each one is capable for living and making a change. So ladies and gentlemen, and others, each one of us can make a change, and that can be just a small step, just a stroke of paint, a stroke of love.